Thank you, Manuel. So for those of you who were not on our first two public meetings, our project began with our team looking at what important changes should be made to modernize and unify the area. And to sum up the first half of our work, our first move is to propose closing Washington Street and East Approach and to avoid the overlap between pedestrian and bus, which is quite confusing today and dangerous and has led to accidents in the past. The buses will follow the relocation around Kennedy Plaza and the parks according to the ride-out plan or any other plans. Commuting is a primary function of the area, and so we hope to have as many commuters traversing the site as possible. This then allows us to regain a lot of public spaces to create a large public square that unifies Kennedy Plaza and its two parks and the ring, and create a lot of opportunity for public engagement and to revitalize the area. Note that we are moving the ring from its current location to the center of Kennedy Plaza, which has become too small and in need of repair. Our next move is to propose a new access to the Riverwalks by eliminating the tunnel under Exchange Terrace and to create an elevated platform that connects Exchange Terrace with Memorial Boulevard like a mini High Line in Providence. We'll then add a wide and safe crossing and a new traffic light on Memorial Boulevard that will then access the Riverwalk from above as opposed to from underneath. And finally, we're planning to modernize the Riverwalks and to build a higher pathway above the existing one so that they won't flood as often. And we're also planning to vastly expand the capacity for visitors and audience for events like the water fire and others. So this is a view of most recent site plan, looking here at the Riverwalks. And this is a view of Kennedy Plaza. And after we define those big moves for the area that could transform the area for the next few decades, we then challenge ourselves as a team, how to design a city center that would address the needs of our current citizens and those of generations to come. And for us, a modern city center is fundamentally about expanding its ownership to benefit the most rather than a few. It's about providing amenities and values across all ages, all social classes, all genders, and all cultural backgrounds. Now, spaces for elderly citizens to find peace and walk their dogs, for workers to commute and grab a bite on the go, for our youth to assert itself, for our citizens to assemble, play, protest, commemorate, heal, and also for people in need to access fundamental services. And while thinking of the broader demography, it's also important to realize that we are in the digital age, which creates undercurrent to our physical spaces, which are important to grasp when thinking about a 21st century city center. Our digital connectivity is part of our daily life in some way in the same electricity was in the early 1900s, and each individual carry at all time his or her own digital social networks, which will only grow to become digital cities, currencies, and at some point potentially redraw nations. The internet has forged new expectations for on-demand and individualized services, which manifests itself in our daily lives while ordering food, watching a movie, or shopping online. And we believe it's fundamental for our future public spaces to reconcile our digital and physical existence for our public spaces to stay relevant, or our future generation will lose interest in our own cities. And so to better understand what each generation needs, we drew different user type and imagined their journeys to the site, from commuters, downtown workers, families, persons in need, or teenagers, and others. And firstly, it's important to remember that Kennedy Plaza was from the beginning a place of inclusion for its access to transportation and public gatherings. So for our plan, we vastly improved accessibility to various modes of transportation, all the way from the train station down to Kennedy Plaza through the river walks, with shared universal accesses for pedestrian, bike, strollers, and mobility impaired individuals. We've also made a clear and enjoyable pedestrian avenue, we hope, throughout the site to connect both sides of Kennedy Plaza and access to buses. And we've added parking spots on Fulton Street and planned for charging station for a future shared electrical autonomous vehicle. This is a view of our proposed urban design at ground elevation by turning off the layer of the trees, showing a range of experiences for people to interact. We're proposing a hardscape that unifies the whole site and composed of islands of human experiences. The plan protects the open space of Kennedy Plaza as a precious asset for freedom of expression and large assemblies, while providing moments of rest and safe spaces, reconciling the individual with the collective. The islands, we hope, create a sense of surprise by introducing the notion of play at the center of the plaza, which we use as a mechanism to motivate people to discover, be curious, and open up to one another. The island propose choices of experiences, create mini communities and ownership, extending our physical and digital experience and existence today. Now, we also propose new opportunities to interact with natural element, with vegetation throughout the plaza and the islands, but also water and ice, with a new interactive water feature and a new ice rink. We offer plenty of sitting opportunities shown here in blue for people to meet, rest, eat, drink, read, play, listen to a lecture or concert, watch a film or a sport event, or watch the activity on the plaza. We also plan to introduce play, literally, with a new interactive water feature and a new ice rink designed with a shape to resemble as if you were skating on a frozen river. The water feature is designed to react to people's movement and sometimes surround you with water or create the effect of a chasing wave, and with nighttime illumination as a show mode. The old rink is designed as a place to play ball, attend an event, skate, display personal work, play music with friends, street dance, attend a dance or yoga class, eat and drink. It has a floor mural that can be painted every other year to the taste of our community and changing times. It has floor obstacles for skating and marking for basketball and AV installations for event. At the basin, we've envisioned a sculpture of mist and metal hung from 3 masts, which we hope will become a beacon for the city, symbolizing its glorious past as an industrial jewelry and shipping epicenter. The feature will create a curtain of evaporative mist occurring on a regular schedule and a dreamy experience when walking to the center of it. Now, Providence has a great human quality, and it's often the place for large gatherings, such as Waterfire and PVD Fest, which over the years have become part of the life of Providence. We've designed an underground infrastructure, shown in red here in those plans, with cable pathways, power connectivity, and structural connections so that event can take place there more easily and more frequently. A large stage on the element we call Big Shade to the southeast of the plaza can fill up to 10,000 people on the main plaza, while a small to medium stage at Free Space, the old rink location, could serve up to 2,000 people. We're also renovating the stage and the audience area of the water park basin with new sitting benches and new event infrastructure. Now, Providence is also a design epicenter, which we are looking to honor. And we're looking at multiple ways to interact with artworks and commemorative works. One of them is through the use of video displays shown in red here that could be used to feature artwork, but also moments of history and information such as events taking place in the city and the state, or bus schedule for riders so that they don't forget about catching their bus. We also see those platforms for students to upload content after review from the city to create more bridges between the colleges in the city and the public square. This display will come as digital pylons or horizontal banners along the wall and maybe be synchronized to play identical messages at special moments. There are also many monuments on the site, most of which are preserved, which will be relocated throughout the site and also complemented with new pieces, new commission, organized by the Truth and Reconciliation and Commemorative Work Committees. And finally, commuters and placemakings bring a lot of opportunity for commerce, which will help to revitalize the area with new retails, food and drink vendors, and space rental. We're providing with 5 permanent food and drinks vendors to serve commuters, kids, families playing, and the general public. Location for food trucks and food kiosks, an area for pop-up food markets, food events, and food festivals. We're also providing essential amenities to support all the programming with 6 new bathroom locations between Kennedy Plaza and the Riverwalks shown here.